The great hall of the Galactic Council fell silent as Elder Ta walked to the center. His small gray body moved slowly. The blue spots on his skin glowed weakly, showing his age and worry. Hundreds of alien leaders from across the galaxy watched from their seats. "I come before you today with a warning," Elder Ta said. His voice was soft but carried through the hall. "The humans have asked to join our council. You must not treat them as you would other young races." Supreme Counselor Vex leaned forward. His 6 eyes blinked in different patterns, showing his boredom. "The humans are primitive. They have just learned to travel between stars. Why should we fear them?" Elder Tai raised a 3-fingered hand. "My people, the Neri, once thought as you do. 300 years ago, we found a small human colony. We thought they would be easy to conquer. We were wrong." The hall filled with whispers. The Neri were known to be peaceful now, but few knew why they had changed. "We attacked their colony," Elder Ta continued. "We killed many humans and took their resources. We thought that was the end. But the humans, they did not forget. They did not forgive." Elder Ta's spots darkened with emotion. "For 50 years, they hunted us. Not just our warriors, but all Neri. They followed us across stars we thought they could not reach. They learned our technology. They adapted. They never stopped." A large purple alien laughed loudly. This was Kraz, military leader of the Drovian Empire. "One small human fleet chased you. The Neri have always been weak." "Not one fleet," Elder Ta said. "At first, it was just 3 ships. But they called others. They built more. They improved them. And they never gave up. They hunted us until only a few thousand Neri remained, hiding on worlds far from our home." The council chamber grew quieter. The humans only stopped when our leaders surrendered and promised to never attack them again. Even now, 3 centuries later, human ships still check on our worlds regularly. Supreme Counselor Vex waved a dismissive hand. "A touching story, Elder Ta. But the Galactic Council is not like your small race. We command the largest fleets in known space." Kraz stood up. His massive body towered over his section of the hall. "I see opportunity, not danger. These humans sound like they would make good slaves. Strong-willed creatures often do, once broken." Elder Ta's spots flashed bright blue in alarm. "You do not understand. Humans are different. They do not think like other races. When they are attacked, they do not seek peace or acceptance. They seek justice, or what they call justice. They will hunt those who hurt them to the ends of the galaxy." "The Council thanks Elder Ta for his input," Vex said coldly. "But we will decide how to handle the humans. They are just one planet with a few colonies. Their ships are slow and their weapons primitive." Elder Ta looked around the room. Seeing the dismissal in many alien faces, "I beg you to listen. If you attack the humans, they will never stop coming for you. Never. Not in your lifetime, not in your children's lifetimes. They will remember, and they will hunt you forever." As Elder Ta walked out, Kraz moved toward Counselor Vex. Their voices were low, but plans were already forming. The Drovian Empire needed new territory and new slaves. These humans sounded perfect. In the shadows of the hall, Elder Ta's assistant waited for him. "They did not listen," Ta said sadly. "What will you do now, Elder?" the assistant asked. Ta looked back at the council chamber, his eyes showing deep worry. "I must find a way to warn the humans. The storm is coming, and they must be ready." Captain Kim stood tall on the bridge of the Horizon, Earth's newest exploration ship. Through the main screen, he watched the alien ship approach. It was 3 times larger than the Horizon, and shaped like a giant silver leaf. "All systems ready, Captain," said Commander Sung, standing beside him. "Weapons are powered down as ordered." Kim nodded. "Let's hope we won't need them. This is a historic day for humanity." The crew watched in silence as the alien ship came closer. Humanity had dreamed of meeting aliens for centuries. Now it was happening. "They're sending a message," said the communications officer. text only. Words appeared on the screen. Welcome, humans. We are the Galactic Council. We come in peace. 6 months later, the human delegation sat in a grand meeting room on the council's main station. The walls were made of a clear material that showed the stars outside. Around a large round table sat representatives from 12 alien species. Jisoo adjusted her translator earpiece. As Earth's lead diplomat, she needed to understand every word. Next to her sat Hyun, Earth's top scientist, and Colonel Park, their military advisor. Humans, said Supreme Counselor Vex, we have observed your species for the past year. We invite Earth to join the Galactic Council as a probationary member. Jisoo bowed her head slightly. Earth is honored to accept. Later that evening, at the welcome party, Jisoo stood alone, watching the aliens mingle. Many kept their distance from the humans. A small gray alien approached her. Blue spots on his skin glowed softly. I am Elder Ta of the Neri, he said quietly. We must speak privately. Jisoo followed him to a quiet corner of the room. What is it, Elder Ta? You are in danger, Ta whispered. Not all council members welcome humans. Some see you as a threat, others as prey. Jisoo's eyes narrowed. Why are you telling me this? Long ago, my people attacked humans. We paid a terrible price. Elder Ta's spots darkened. I tried to warn the council not to repeat our mistake. Before Jisoo could ask more, a large purple alien interrupted them. Elder Ta, sharing old stories. The alien's voice was deep and mocking. I am Kraz of the Drovian Empire. We are much interested in human culture. Jisoo felt uneasy as Kraz's four eyes studied her. We look forward to cultural exchanges, she said carefully. Kraz smiled, showing sharp teeth. Indeed, I personally look forward to visiting Earth soon. As Kraz walked away, Elder Ta whispered, Be careful of him. The Drovians want your worlds. On the other side of the room, Colonel Park was speaking with a reptilian alien about human military. Our forces are small but effective, Park explained. We focus on defense. The alien nodded. Very wise. Would you like to see our military records? We are very open with our allies. Park smiled. We would be grateful. Back on the horizon, Captain Kim received a private message from Jisoo about her meeting with Elder Ta. Keep the ship ready, she wrote. Something doesn't feel right. Kim turned to Commander Sung. Run extra drills tomorrow. I want weapon systems checked again. Sir, Sung looked confused. Is there a problem? Kim stared at the stars through the viewport. Just a feeling. When you're in deep space, you learn to trust your feelings. In his private chambers on the council station, Kraz spoke with Supreme Counselor Vex through a secure channel. The humans suspect nothing, Kraz said. Their ships are primitive. Their weapons are weak. How long until you're ready? Asked Vex. Kraz smiled coldly. 6 months. We'll learn all we can about their defenses, then strike when they least expect it. Good, said Vex. The council officially knows nothing of this plan. Neither noticed the small recording device hidden in the room, placed there by Elder Ta's assistant. 6 months had passed since Earth joined the Galactic Council. On the main defense screen at Earth Command, 7 green dots suddenly turned red. We've lost contact with all 7 outer colonies, said the officer. At the same time, Admiral Han stood up from his chair. His face was calm, but his eyes showed anger. This is not an accident. Send the alert to all ships. We are under attack. Far from Earth, Captain Kim's ship Horizon was returning from a diplomatic mission. Commander Sung rushed to the bridge. Captain, 3 Drovian warships just appeared behind us. Kim didn't hesitate. Battle stations, all power to rear shields. The first shots hit the horizon hard. The ship shook violently. Engines damage, reported an officer. We can't outrun them. Kim looked at the star map. There's a gas cloud 2 light minutes away. Sung, can we reach it? Commander Sung nodded. If we divert all power, even life support. Do it, ordered Kim, and prepare a message pod for Earth. They need to know what happened here. The horizon lurched forward, trailing smoke and debris. Behind them, the Drovian ships followed. On the main Galactic Council station, an emergency meeting was called. Supreme Counselor Vex stood before the gathered aliens. We have received disturbing news. The Drovian Empire has attacked human colonies without warning. Angry voices filled the chamber. Elder Ta pushed through the crowd. This is exactly what I warned about, he shouted. The Council must stop this at once. Vex raised his hands for silence. The Council officially condemns this attack. We will send observers to assess the situation. Observers? Elder Ta was furious. Humans are dying. You must send peacekeepers. Vex's 6 eyes blinked coldly. The Council does not interfere in private disputes. Private disputes. Elder Ta couldn't believe what he was hearing. This is an unprovoked attack. Remove Elder Ta, Vex ordered. He is disrupting Council proceedings. Guards moved toward Elder Ta. He fought as they dragged him away. You knew. You all knew this would happen. Jisoo watched from a corner of the room, her face showing no emotion. When the guards took Elder Ta, she slipped out quietly. In a small ship hidden near the station, Hyun waited for Jisoo. Did you get the files? Hyun asked when Jisoo entered. Jisoo nodded and handed over a small data device. Everything about Drovian ship systems. Elder Ta's assistant smuggled it to me before they arrested him. Will it help us fight back? It has to, Jisoo said. We need to reach Earth before they cut off all travel. Back on Earth, the Global Defense Council gathered in an underground bunker. Reports from the colony showed massive destruction. Millions were dead or missing. Admiral Han pointed to the star map. The Drovians hit 7 colonies at once. They took everyone who survived. We think they're being used as slaves. What about Captain Kim's ship? Asked the council member. Missing, Han said. But we received his message pod. The Drovians ambushed them near council space. Colonel Park, who had recently returned from the council station, stood up. This was planned for months. The council knew and did nothing. Silence filled the room as everyone absorbed this betrayal. Admiral Han walked to the center of the room. We are outnumbered and outgunned. The Drovians have technology we can't match yet. So we surrender. Someone asked. No, Han's voice was firm. We fight back, but not the way they expect. I have a plan that will surprise them. He looked at each person in the room. The Drovians think this war will be quick and easy. They think we will give up. His eyes narrowed. They don't know humans very well. 3 months after the Drovian attack, Admiral Han stood in Earth's largest shipyard. Around him, workers built new ships day and night. What once took years now took weeks. We've added the new shields to all ships, said Hyun, walking beside him. Her eyes were tired from working without much sleep. The Drovian weapons won't be as effective now. Admiral Han nodded. Good work. How long until the new weapons are ready? 2 more weeks, Hyun said. We took apart the Drovian ship parts Jisoo brought back. Their technology isn't that far ahead of ours. We just need to catch up. In another part of the shipyard, Captain Kim inspected his new ship. The horizon had been destroyed, but Kim and most of his crew had escaped in emergency pods. Now he commanded the Vengeance, Earth's newest and most powerful warship. The ship is ready, Captain, said Commander Sung. She had been promoted after their escape. Crew is at full strength and eager to fight. Kim touched the ship's hull. We won't just fight. We'll make them regret ever attacking us. Meanwhile, Colonel Park trained special forces in an underground base. Men and women practiced fighting in different gravity levels and using new weapons. The Drovians expect us to fight like a normal army, Park told his soldiers. We won't. We'll strike where they don't expect us, then disappear before they can respond. The soldiers nodded. Many had lost family in the colony attacks. They trained harder than ever before. In a secret location, Jisoo met with representatives from other alien races. Some had left the Galactic Council in protest. Others still belonged to the Council, but disagreed with its decisions. Humans are not asking for your ships or soldiers, Jisoo told them. We only ask for information and safe places to rest between battles. A tall blue alien spoke up. The Drovians have many enemies. We will help you because it helps us too. Another alien, with 4 arms and green skin, added, we have maps of Drovian trade routes. You can hit their supply ships. Jisoo bowed. Earth thanks you. We will remember who stood with us in dark times. Back on Earth, Admiral Han called a meeting with all fleet commanders. Today we launch our first counterattack, he announced, pointing to a star map. The Drovians think we are hiding and licking our wounds. They're wrong. He highlighted 3 Drovian supply bases. We hit all 3 at once. Small, fast attacks. Destroy their supplies and leave. No large battles yet. Captain Kim raised his hand. Sir, my ship is ready. Let us lead the attack on the main base. Admiral Han nodded. Approved. Captain Kim will lead Alpha Strike. Commander Ju will lead Beta Strike. I will lead Gamma Strike myself. As the meeting ended, Admiral Han added, remember, we are not just fighting for the colonies they destroyed. We are fighting for all human colonies, present and future. The galaxy must learn that attacking humans brings consequences. 2 days later, Captain Kim stood on the bridge of the Vengeance as it approached the Drovian supply base. 2 smaller ships followed his lead. They'd spotted us, reported Commander Sung. Drovian defenders are launching. Kim smiled. Good. Let them come. The Vengeance suddenly disappeared from Drovian scanners, using the new stealth technology Hyun had developed. It reappeared behind the Drovian defenders. Fire all weapons, Kim ordered calmly. The Drovian ships exploded one after another, surprised by the attack from behind. On the supply base, alarms blared. Base defenses targeting us, Sung reported. Ignore them, Kim said. Target their fuel storage and main supply warehouses. Bright explosions lit up the darkness of space as the human ships struck with precision and speed. Before the Drovians could organize a proper defense, the human ships vanished into hyperspace. On the main Drovian military base, Kraz received the reports from all 3 attacked bases at once. For the first time, he felt a flicker of worry. So, he muttered, the hunt begins. 6 months into the war, the humans changed their strategy. After dozens of hit-and-run attacks on Drovian bases, Admiral Han gave new orders. It's time to free Elder Tai, he told Captain Kim. He warned us about the attack. Now he sits in a council prison for trying to help us. Captain Kim studied the prison planet map on his screen. It's deep in council space, heavily guarded. That's why you're going, Admiral Han said. The Vengeance is our best ship, and you're our best captain. 3 days later, the Vengeance dropped out of hyperspace near the prison planet. 2 Council patrol ships immediately moved to intercept. Broadcast the message, Kim ordered. Commander Sung sent the prepared message. Attention Council ships. We have no quarrel with you. We seek only justice against the Drovians. Stand aside. The Council ships continued forward, weapons charging. They've made their choice, Kim said. Disable their engines only. The Vengeance fired precise shots that left both patrol ships spinning helplessly in space. On the prison planet, alarms sounded as the Vengeance entered orbit. Kim led a small team to the surface in a stealth shuttle. They wore new armor developed by Hyun's team that blocked most alien scanners. The prison is 2 kilometers north, Commander Sung said, checking her device. Guards at all entrances. Kim nodded. We go in fast and quiet. No killing unless absolutely necessary. The Council needs to know our fight is with the Drovians, not them. The team moved through the shadows, stunning guards rather than killing them. Inside the prison, they found Elder Tai in a small cell. Humans. Elder Tai's spots glowed bright blue in surprise. How did you find me? Jisoo told us where to look, Kim explained as they freed him. We need your help. You know the Drovians better than we do. As they escaped the prison, Elder Ta said, I have important information. The Drovians have a weakness in their ship design. Their main power system has poor protection. Back on the Vengeance, Elder Ta shared everything he knew about Drovian military tactics and technology. He also provided locations of secret Drovian bases. With this information, we can hurt them badly, Kim told Admiral Han over a secure channel. Admiral Han smiled for the first time in months. Good. I'm launching Operation Endless Pursuit. From now on, we hunt the Drovians wherever they hide. On Earth, Jisoo addressed the Global Defense Council. 5 more alien species have joined our alliance. They provide supplies, safe ports, and intelligence. What about direct military support? A council member asked. Jisoo shook her head. Most fear council punishment, but their health still matters. The Drovians now face resistance on many fronts, not just from us. Meanwhile, on the Drovian homeworld, Kraz faced angry questions from other leaders. You promised an easy victory, one said. Instead, human ships attack our bases every week. They free our slaves and steal our supplies. They are just pests, Kraz insisted, but his voice lacked conviction. We will crush them soon. How? Another leader demanded. They never fight where we expect. They hit and run. Our ships chase them, but find nothing. Kratos slammed his fist on the table. I've requested more ships from the Council. Supreme Counselor Vex has promised support. But in the Council chambers, Vex faced growing opposition. The humans attack only Drovian targets, a reptilian counselor noted. They disable our ships but don't destroy them. They clearly want only the Drovians. We cannot appear weak, Vex insisted. We already appear foolish, said another counselor. Elder Ta warned us. We didn't listen. Now we face the consequence he predicted. Humans who will never stop hunting those who attack them. On the Vengeance, Captain Kim and Elder Ta studied a map of Drovian territory. Their leaders feel safe on their homeworld. Elder Ta said, they never expect an attack there. Kim smiled. Then that's exactly where we'll go next. The hunters must become the hunted. Elder Ta's spots pulsed with concern. You truly never stop, do you? No, Kim said simply. We don't. That's what it means to be human. 2 years after the first Drovian attack, Admiral Han stood before a large screen showing the galaxy map. Green lights marked recaptured human colonies. Red lights showed Drovian bases that had been destroyed. We have taken back 3 colonies, he told the Earth Defense Council. Over 20,000 human prisoners have been freed. A council member leaned forward. What about the other 4 colonies? Admiral Han's face darkened. Still no sign of those colonists. We believe the Drovians moved them deeper into their territory. In her laboratory, Hyun worked with a team of scientists. They surrounded a small ship that seemed to disappear and reappear as they adjusted controls. The stealth system works perfectly now, Hyun told Admiral Han when he visited. Drovian scanners cannot detect our ships when this is active. Han nodded with approval. How many ships can we equip with this? All major warships within 3 months, Hyun said. The system needs special materials, but we found a way to make them faster. Far from Earth, Jisoo met with representatives of the Mavari, one of the oldest species in the galaxy. The Mavari looked like tall, thin humans with silver skin and no hair. The Drovians have broken many ancient laws, Jisoo explained. They attack peaceful worlds. They take slaves. They use banned weapons. The oldest Mavari nodded slowly. We have watched this conflict with concern. The Council should have stopped it immediately. Will you help us? Jisoo asked directly. The Mavari do not fight in wars, the elder said. But we will open our trading networks to humans. We will share our medical knowledge, and we will speak for you in the Council. Jisoo bowed deeply. Earth thanks you. Your support will save many lives. On the Vengeance, Captain Kim prepared for their most dangerous mission yet. Elder Ta had provided the location of the main Drovian shipyard where new warships were built. This mission is volunteer only, Kim told his crew. We will go deep into Drovian space. If we succeed, we cripple their ability to build new ships. If we fail, we may not return. Commander Sung stepped forward. The entire crew volunteers, Captain. We all lost someone when they attacked our colonies. The mission began 3 days later. Using the new stealth technology, the Vengeance and 2 support ships slipped past Drovian border patrols. They traveled for 5 days through enemy territory, hiding when necessary, moving when safe. Finally, they reached the massive Drovian shipyard. Dozens of warships in different stages of construction filled the space around a small moon. Their defenses are stronger than we expected, Sung reported. Sensors show 50 defense platforms and 10 active warships. Kim studied the shipyard layout. We can't fight them all. We need to hit the main power station that feeds the construction facilities. Elder Ta's information shows it's here, on the moon's surface. The plan was simple but dangerous. The Vengeance would create a distraction while a small team landed on the moon to destroy the power station. As the Vengeance decloaked near the shipyard, alarms blared across Drovian frequencies. Warships turned to attack the human vessel. All weapons, fire at will, Kim ordered. Keep their attention on us. Meanwhile, a small shuttle carried Commander Sung and a strike team to the moon's surface. They placed powerful explosives at key points around the power station. Charges set, Sung reported over the comm. Returning to shuttle now. The Vengeance took heavy fire as it fought the Drovian ships. Its shields weakened with each hit. Shields at 30%, reported an officer. We can't take much more. Just a little longer, Kim said calmly. Suddenly, the entire shipyard went dark as Commander Sung's explosives destroyed the power station. Partially built Drovian ships drifted helplessly in space. All ships, cloak and retreat, Kim ordered. As they escaped Drovian space, Elder Ta observed, the Drovians will need at least a year to rebuild that shipyard. Kim nodded. And in that year, we'll hit them even harder. On the Drovian homeworld, Kraz faced the ruling council. How did humans reach our main shipyard? Demanded the head counselor. You said our territory was secure. Kraz had no answer. For the first time, he felt afraid of the humans who seemed to hunt them everywhere. The great hall of the Galactic Council was filled with angry voices. Representatives from 30 species argued as Supreme Counselor Vex tried to keep order. The human attacks must stop, shouted the Drovian representative who had replaced Kraz at this meeting. They destroy our ships and bases every week. A tall blue alien stood up. Perhaps the Drovians should not have attacked human colonies first. They started this war. More voices joined in, some supporting the Drovians, others defending the humans. Vex banged his ceremonial staff on the floor. Silence, he commanded. This emergency session will have order. When the room quieted, Vex continued. The Council has always stayed neutral in conflicts between species. We will not change that policy now. The doors of the Great Hall suddenly opened. Jisoo walked in, flanked by Elder Ta and representatives from the Mavarti and 5 other species. The Council speaks of neutrality, Jisoo said clearly. But there was no neutrality when the Drovians attacked Earth. The Council knew of their plans and did nothing. Vex's 6 eyes blinked rapidly. These are serious accusations. Do you have proof? Jisoo nodded to Elder Ta, who stepped forward. I do. I recorded Vex and Kraz planning the attack 6 months before it happened. Elder Ta activated a small device. The voice of Kraz filled the room. The humans suspect nothing. Their ships are primitive. Their weapons are weak. Then Vex's voice. Good. The Council officially knows nothing of this plan. The hall erupted in shock and anger. Many Council members had not known about this betrayal. There is more, Jisoo said when the noise died down. We have proof that council members sold illegal weapons to the Drovians for use against humans. She displayed images showing council ships delivering weapons to Drovian bases. The evidence was clear and undeniable. The Mavari representative spoke next. As one of the founding species of this council, we are deeply troubled. The council was created to prevent wars, not start them. Supreme Counselor Vex tried to defend himself. The Drovians acted on their own. The council never officially approved. Enough lies, interrupted Elder Ta. I warned this council about humans. I told you they would never stop hunting those who attack them. You didn't listen then. Will you listen now, before more die? The representatives talked among themselves. Finally, a reptilian counselor proposed a vote. I move that the council officially censure the Drovian Empire for their unprovoked attack on human colonies. All trade and support to the Drovians should stop immediately. The vote passed by a narrow margin. Vex looked stunned as his power visibly weakened. On the Vengeance, Captain Kim received the news from Jisoo over a secure channel. This is a major diplomatic victory, Jisoo explained. The Drovians are now cut off from council support. Many species will stop trading with them. Will it end the war? Kim asked. Jisoo's face was serious. No, but it will make it harder for them to continue fighting. Admiral Han joined the call. Our intelligence shows Kraz is becoming desperate. He's lost support among his own people. Many Drovian colonies are calling for peace. Desperate enemies are dangerous, Elder Ta warned. Kraz will not surrender easily. As if proving Elder Ta's words, a Drovian message was broadcast across all frequencies the next day. Kraz appeared, his purple skin darker than before, his eyes wild with anger. Humans, he growled. You turn the council against us. You destroy our ships. You shame the Drovian Empire. His voice became deadly quiet. If we cannot have victory, we will have revenge. You protect your homeworld well, but soon you will face a weapon that no defense can stop. Admiral Han immediately called an emergency meeting. Intelligence suggests Kraz has access to forbidden weapons technology from an ancient war. We need to prepare for the worst. Captain Kim's orders came through an hour later. The Vengeance and 5 other ships would form Earth's first line of defense. Whatever Kraz is planning, Kim told his crew, we will stop him. The hunt isn't over until all our people are safe. Alarms blared throughout Earth's defense system. On the main command screen, hundreds of Drovian ships appeared, jumping out of hyperspace near the edge of the solar system. All ships to battle positions, Admiral Han ordered. This is not a drill. Kraz has brought his entire fleet. Earth's defense fleet moved into formation. 50 warships, led by Captain Kim's Vengeance, faced the approaching Drovian armada. Behind them, orbital defense platforms powered up their weapons. They have over 200 ships, Commander Sung reported on the Vengeance bridge. We're outnumbered 4-1. Captain Kim nodded calmly. Numbers aren't everything. We have better pilots, better tactics, and we're fighting for our home. At the center of the Drovian fleet, a massive ship appeared. 3 times larger than any other vessel, it bristled with weapons. On its bridge stood Kraz, his eyes filled with hate. The humans hide behind their defenses, he told his officers. But our new weapon will end this war today. They should have surrendered when they had the chance. The Drovian fleet moved forward slowly, their formation tight and disciplined. Earth's ships held their positions, waiting. Admiral Han's voice came through on all channels. Remember your training. Use the asteroid fields for cover. Hit and run. Make every shot count. The space between Earth and Mars erupted in light and fire as the 2 fleets clashed. Lasers and plasma bolts crisscrossed the darkness. Ships exploded on both sides. Captain Kim's Vengeance led a squadron that targeted Drovian support ships. Using their stealth technology, they appeared and disappeared, striking from unexpected angles. We've destroyed 15 enemy ships, Sung reported, but they keep coming. Kim studied the battle display. Kraz's flagship is holding back. They're protecting something. On Earth, Hyun worked frantically with her team, analyzing energy readings from the Drovian flagship. "Admiral," she called Han urgently. "We're detecting a massive energy buildup in Kraz's ship. It matches the signature of ancient planet-killer weapons banned for 1,000 years." Han's face hardened. "How long until it can fire?" 20 minutes, maybe less," Hyun said. "Our shields can't stop that kind of weapon." Han immediately contacted Captain Kim. "You need to disable Kraz's main weapon. It's our only chance." Kim understood the mission immediately. "We'll need to get close. Very close. I'm sending Colonel Park and his special forces to help," Han said. "They'll board the flagship while you disable its shields." The Vengeance changed course, heading directly toward Kraz's massive ship. 5 smaller human vessels followed. "This is a suicide mission," Sung said quietly. Kim nodded. "Perhaps, but Earth will survive." The Vengeance took heavy fire as it approached the Drovian flagship. Its shields weakened with each hit, but it pressed forward relentlessly. "Shields at 30%, reported an officer. 20%. "Stay on course," Kim ordered. "All power to forward shields and engines." Meanwhile, Colonel Park and his team approached in stealth shuttles, undetected in the chaos of battle. When the Vengeance was close enough, Kim gave the order. "Target their main shield generators. Fire everything we have." The human ship unleashed all its weapons at once. The flagship's shields flickered and failed on one side. "Now," Kim ordered, "launch the EMP missiles." Special missiles designed by Hyun's team hit the flagship's exposed hull, sending powerful electromagnetic pulses through its systems. Lights flickered across the massive ship. At that moment, Colonel Park's team boarded through the gap in the shields. They fought their way through the flagship, heading for the weapon control room. On his bridge, Kraz realized what was happening. "The weapon. Get it online now." But it was too late. Park's team reached the control room and planted explosives. They retreated quickly as the charges detonated, destroying the ancient weapon's power source. The Vengeance, badly damaged but still fighting, targeted the flagship's engines. Without shields or main power, the Drovian vessel couldn't evade the attack. "Prepare to be boarded," Kim transmitted to the flagship. "This ends now, Kraz." As human forces secured the Drovian flagship, the rest of the enemy fleet began to retreat. Without their leader and their secret weapon, they had lost the will to fight. Admiral Han's voice echoed through all channels. "The Earth stands, and all who would threaten humanity now know the price." 1 year after the Great Battle at Earth, the Galactic Council Hall looked very different. The curved walls had been rebuilt. The seating arrangement was no longer in rows of power and privilege, but in a simple circle where all species sat as equals. Jisoo stood at the center of this circle, no longer just a human diplomat, but a newly elected council member. Beside her stood representatives from the Mavari, the Neri, and 12 other species who formed the new leadership. "Today marks the final signing of the peace accord," Jisoo announced. "The war between humans and Drovians is officially over." On a raised platform, leaders from Earth and the new Drovian government signed the document. The Drovian representative looked thin and tired, but relieved. In the past year, much had changed. After Kraz's capture and the defeat of his fleet, the Drovian Empire had fallen into civil war. The outer colonies had rebelled against the central government. Many Drovians had never wanted the war and now seized the chance for peace. Supreme Counselor Vex and his corrupt allies had been removed from power. Elder Tad led the effort to create a more fair and honest council. After the ceremony, Jisoo met with Captain Kim, now Admiral Kim, in a quiet garden. "You look good in that uniform," Jisoo said. "How does it feel to lead the new peacekeeping fleet?" Kim smiled slightly. "Strange. For so long, we fought only for survival. Now we work to keep peace for everyone." "A peace you helped create," Jisoo reminded him. "A peace many died for," Kim corrected her. Have we found all our missing colonists yet? Jisu's face grew serious. Almost all. The last group was found last week on a remote Drovian mining world. They're coming home now. Across the galaxy, human colonies were rebuilding. The attacked worlds, once scenes of destruction, now buzzed with activity. New buildings rose where ruins had stood. Parks and memorial gardens honored those who had died. On Earth, Hyun led a new science academy where humans and aliens studied together. The technology developed during the war was now being used to improve life for all species. Colonel Park trained the first mixed species security forces. Humans worked alongside former enemies, teaching each other their strengths and methods. In a prison on a small moon, Kraz sat alone in a cell. The War Crimes Tribunal had sentenced him to life imprisonment. Once a powerful military leader, now he had nothing but time to think about his mistakes. A guard announced a visitor. Admiral Kim walked in and sat across from Kraz. "Why are you here?" Kraz asked bitterly. "To gloat over your victory." Kim shook his head. "To ask a question that has bothered me since the war began. Why did you attack us when Elder Ta warned you what would happen?" Kraz looked away. We didn't believe him. How could one small planet stand against the might of the Drovian Empire? It seemed impossible. Yet here we are, Kim said simply. "There is something I don't understand," Kraz admitted. "We killed your people. We destroyed your colonies. By all rights, you should have destroyed us completely when you won. Why didn't you?" "Because justice isn't the same as revenge," Kim answered. "We hunted you because we had to stop you. Once you were stopped, the hunting could end." As Kim left the prison, Elder Todd waited for him outside. "You were right all those years ago," Kim told the old Neri. "You tried to warn them about us." Elder Taz's spots glowed softly. "I did not warn them to prevent war. I warned them because I knew what would happen if they started one." Together they looked up at the stars. Ships from dozens of species moved peacefully through the sky. Will it last? Elder Todd wondered. This peace. "I hope so," Kim said. "But if not, they know now." "Know what?" asked Elder Ta. "That humans keep their promises. We said we would hunt the Drovians until justice was done. And we did exactly that." Elder Ta nodded wisely. The greatest lesson of this war wasn't about human vengeance. It was about human determination. When you commit to something, good or bad, you never stop until it's finished. That, Kim said with a small smile, is what it means to be human. The end.